Welcome everyone to another episode of Rap in Order. I'm First Class Regg.
I'm Taurian B.
We got Eli P here, hopefully. If his Wi-Fi don't give out on him.
Yeah, if I bail out, trust me, I love y'all. Continue without me, it is what it is.
We got Robbie Digital.
Yo, what up?
And we got Quincy here.
What's happening, y'all?
Now, Quincy being here is very essential to this episode because he's the one that came up with the idea to do this album. So the album that we're doing today is Murda Muzik. Murda Muzik is the fourth studio album from Mobb Deep. It was released in 1999. It features one of their most popular songs to this day, Quiet Storm, along with the remix. Some really notable tracks on here, and it's also one of their most successful albums that they released. This album went two times platinum, and it debuted at number 3. Very good. It kind of just, I think with this album, obviously the Infamous is like their like magnum opus, but like I feel like this album also has a lot of notable tracks that kind of speaks to the importance of the mob. Obviously the production was handled by Havoc. How do we feel? How do we feel about this?
I want to go first. 1999, I had just moved from Harlem to Long Island because my father kind of like did a miniature version of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and got me out of Harlem, moved me to Suffolk County, Long Island. And a lot of albums dropped that year, and this album kind of like really got played a lot, especially in Long Island, because a lot of people in Long Island are exports from Brooklyn and Queens. So I really wasn't that familiar with Mobb Deep to that extent. So obviously, like I heard, a lot of the songs that I heard Shook Ones everywhere. Like you always hear Shook Ones, like that beat is one of the greatest hip hop beats of all time. But I never listened to a Mobb Deep album. So this was my introduction to Mobb Deep. This was the first Mobb Deep album that I listened to in its entirety. I was 13 years old. So don't kill me, Q. I was 13. So you got to understand.
No, this is my first Mobb Deep album too.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Yeah, I was 12.
All right, cool. So I was 13. I listened to this album, and what I understood is that number one, this was one of the last groups where like one of the people in the group was a producer as well as a rapper, because that's not like a thing no more. Like where like groups like Little Brother did it, but like Knife Wonder didn't rap. Knife Wonder didn't rap, right?
Nah.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like Mobb Deep is like one of like the last groups where like a group member is also a producer, and it's kind of like just Prodigy, who's like a really, really good MC doing his thing. And obviously, like I got the album because Quiet Storm was such a big deal. I saw the movie In Too Deep, and I was just like, that played throughout the movie and shit. And this album, I didn't like hold it in high regard, but it just really it's funny like listening to it and like revisiting it. It just brought back memories of me making that move to Long Island, Longwood High School. Shout out to Longwood, my high school that I went to until 10th grade. But yeah, this album was a cool album. It's definitely not their best project. It was to me, it's their most commercial album though. And like it was still them being like very, very much hood, but like this was like they did like the best that they could at going crossover and still remaining true to like their core fan base. And I think they succeeded. Like they did a better job at keeping their core fan base happy and not making them think that they were like selling out or nothing like that.
I think as far as most commercial, their most commercial attempt to me was when they joined G Unit.
Yeah, I was about to say this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what Taurian's saying because
commercially successful.
Yeah, this is their most commercially successful album, yes. But I think, with being handled by 50 and everything, it just kind of changed their audience a little bit.
And the sound, yeah.
The sound, the reach, like all of it changed because 50 was like the biggest rapper in the world. So those are the obvious reasons. But
them other genuine niggas is bums, bro. I'm telling you right now, man. Like he just got tired.
We're not doing that, man.
Sorry. Yeah, I just got mad. Like I just got mad because like Like Havoc and Prodigy was ready to like do shit, and like that's why 50 treated them so good.
Bro, yeah, they got G-Unit tattoos and everything.
Yeah.
No, 50 in Prodigy's book, 50 got an infamous tattoo as well.
Yeah. He was ready. That Out of Control remix that he gave them was
that shit was fire.
So fire.
So when it comes to me with this album, I gotta be 100 with you, Q. Whew. Boy, did you pick a bad one.
Oh my God. That's very hard to hear from you.
Bruh, like, don't get me wrong, like, when it was their first album, I loved it. When it was Hell on Earth, easily on my, top 10 favorite albums of all time. But when it comes to this album,
top 10 all time, Hell on Earth?
Top 10 albums of all time, Hell on Earth.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Absolutely. All right, so when it comes to Murda Muzik, that's exactly what this album is. They murdered every single song on this album to the point that it wasn't even worth living.
Yo, cut his mic off, man.
All right, so let me just get one thing straight. Let me just get one thing straight. I hate when y'all niggas come on here and y'all come in here with motives and y'all just stick to that motive and y'all don't try to make sense. You and Rob do that shit all the time and I hate it.
So I just want to point to the audience, I haven't said anything.
It's a trash album.
But you saying every single song like Quiet Storm ain't on this and Life is Mine and Mine. Nas is not on this. Like, what's wrong with you, my nigga? Like,
I feel you, but you only gave me 2 records though.
No, but you said every single
out of 19.
Words mean things. I need you to like to know that. All right. So you got It's Mine, Quiet Storm remix. All right.
What's the other one?
Okay.
Realist with
Eli went already. Rob, what do you think?
You want to mute him now?
Huh?
You want to mute him now? Or you gonna let him keep talking?
Yeah, Eli.
No, I want you to go.
I like the album. This is actually, I've always had high regard for Mobb Deep, but I've never listened to a Mobb Deep album. I knew what role they played in hip hop and how significant they were. It just wasn't played in my house. And my older cousins were definitely playing more Outkast. And being from the Bronx, I just didn't hear people really mention the Mob like that. So I could see even to Taurian's point how like when he moved to Long Island, like he heard it a lot more frequently because I don't remember hearing that album played that much as a kid. And I think even still like early hip hop, I would say was definitely more territorial still. Like it's just certain boroughs just didn't play certain things. It was 1 or 2 fews that you heard it. You didn't really hear it. So Quiet Storm broke through, but like as far as the album, I didn't listen to it. I liked it. I think sometimes you gotta take yourself and your personal opinion out of things. Eli, like yes, it's 2020, and listening to Prodigy and Havoc say "done" 52 times, yeah, it can be exhausting, but that doesn't take away from this album. It is a good album. The production is amazing. Prodigy is witty.
No, it's not.
What are you talking? All right, whatever, bro.
Yo,
whatever.
This dude is nuts.
Nigga said in the album, I shot him, killed him, and let Medicaid fit the bill. I was like, that's wild. Like, what are you talking about? Medicaid fit the bill? Did you not? All right, whatever. Maybe he's not listening to how I'm listening, but my one critique, I remember listening to Cypher Sounds one day talk about the power of Mobb Deep and then playing Quiet Storm because he actually is the one who broke Quiet Storm on Hot 97. And his one critique about Havoc was that his 808s and his drums were just never heavy enough. And I didn't realize that until you really listen to the album that Havoc's beats are they're very complex, but they're not hard hitting. They're very, very soft beats.
Yeah.
At this time, they are now.
That's a fact.
So that's
they are now. He caught up a lot.
Yeah, but they didn't knock like that. Like throughout this album, you can hear that they're very subtle. Like, he's really just like tapping the drum. It doesn't have like a hard boom boom like that. So
I don't know.
But the album's really good.
I think that's I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with that critique because I feel like it's intentional. Like when I listen to some of the material, like when you hear his progression now, obviously, like you said, like it hits a lot better. But I feel like that's, you know, one, that's with growth, obviously, and then two, it's probably just with intent. Like it's, you know, it's the knock for that vibe. I think with this, like, I had no complaints with the beats on this album. Like there's songs on this album that I didn't need, but the beats were solid to me.
I would suggest, just as a critique to us as well as the listeners, if you listen to not to plug other people's podcasts, but if you listen to the interview with Syph and Andrew Schultz, he plays both versions of Quiet Storm, and you can see how the critique that Syph gave Havoc about the beats and how hard hitting it is, and that's why there's a difference now when you actually hear it played. It has a more thump to it now that we're used to hearing, opposed to the original. But all in all, still a good album. I really enjoy. I liked it for a first time listen. I'm not gonna say it was trash like you.
And Q, how do you feel? What's your feelings on this one?
Hip hop. Yeah, that's you.
This album is, for one, like T was saying, it's one of the first albums I owned on my own. It's one of those, when we used to get the shit in the mail where you 5 CDs for whatever amount. This is one of them I got. I got Busta Rhymes The Coming, something else. Oh, S. Carter Volume 3, and fucking and this joint. Edited. I was that young. I did the edited version.
Oh, but, it was called Mobb Muzik.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, yeah. Mobb Muzik. They changed the name. But yeah, no, I lived in Queens at this time, so this Nas LL shit was ringing off.
When this came out, you was a little done.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I was in day camp with Diggy and Angela. Word. Like, I was in a.
Was he trying to rap? He was trying to rap at that time too. Nothing much to change. Diggy?
No.
Okay.
No, he was just trying to find the best throwback jerseys.
I don't know why they're off of Biggie. Like women love him. He can actually rap. Like
when I spoke to him one day, I asked him, and he was like, "Yo, I like women, and women like me, and making R&B music and acting was a lot easier." And I was like, "Yo, I respected it because remember he did the First Flight mixtape, and then he was on the Beeman remix for Lupe, and like people was like, yo, this kid can really rap. And I know his older brother was tight. His career flopped, but
it's the same like Jaden. Like Jaden's dope, but it's just something about being like the son of somebody who's just like
everything is
so big
that it kind of shoots you in the foot because you already come from such a successful family that it's like, yo, I don't want to hear from you.
It's hard to buy into that. Exactly. Like, you mad rich, bro. But anyways, I love the album. It has some of my favorite Mobb tracks on it. Some of my favorite Alchemist beats on this album. So, yeah. I think this is the first album where I heard Alchemist.
Word.
Producing a track.
Word. This album also, I do remember when it came out, it was bootleg so much that like they had to release, I think like 5 other songs they had to pack onto this album just to get people to buy it. And obviously with Quiet Storm Remix being one of them, because it got bootlegged like a couple months, I want to say, before it actually came out. So they was nervous.
Do you know if this, after this, I guess we could get into it. Do you know if this was on Loud or was this when they went to Jive Records? Because they was on Loud Records for the infamous and Hell on Earth. I don't know if this is when they switched labels, and that's maybe why it went so commercial. Like they signed a new deal. Like, yeah, we got to sell some records type thing.
Could be.
Because Loud was like more grimy, like underground type music.
I thought this album was on the Def Jam.
Isn't that more?
This album is on Loud.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yo, T, if I'm not mistaken, isn't Loud Steve Rifkin?
Yes.
At the time? Yeah.
Sorry, say it again.
Loud is Steve Rifkin in 99, right?
Yes, Steve Rifkin. Loud Music was also known to Wu-Tang.
Mobb Deep, Exhibit.
Mobb Deep, Big Pun.
Pun. Fact.
So that's pretty on brand.
And then it turned into SRC where Akon went, Asher Roth. It was quite a few acts. Yeah, did y'all know that Alchemist is the brother of what's this dude's name? Damn it, now I can't think of his name. I'm sorry. Damn it, I'm sorry. But basically, Alchemist. Number one, I didn't know Alchemist was white. That's one.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
That was
I've been to that.
That was a shock. I don't know what I thought he was, but I didn't think he was white. And then also, like, Alchemist could have been like a Hollywood actor, but like he chose to continue to rap. And his half brother is Michael Caine's son, but I forget his son's name. Like he's a short dude that's in Varsity Blues. He's in Ocean's 11. Like I forgot the white guy's name though. It's like
he's an actor.
Huh?
So his brother's an actor.
Yeah, his brother's a famous actor, and Alchemist could have also been a famous actor.
See
what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. You see?
Yeah, I see his face. I know who you're talking about.
But long story short, Alchemist like could have like a completely different career if he wanted to, but he's just socially awkward, so that's why producing works.
It's crazy. I met Alchemist, and we had a whole full-blown conversation as if we knew each other. And then I realized he
probably thought that he did know you and spoke to you the entire time, trying to remember where he knew you from.
Bro, he asked me about my kids. I asked him about his kids. I asked him what sneakers he copped, and we talked about sneakers. And I was like, "How is LA?" Yo, I don't know who the fuck he thought I was. And then I'm like, "Yo," he gave me his card for buying his MacBook. I said, "Yo, Alchemist, I don't know you, bro." And he was like, "Yo, I thought I knew you," and I was like, "Yo, bro, I don't know."
That nigga thought he was Greg.
Wait a second. So he thought that you bought his MacBook, but you didn't buy the MacBook?
Nah, he was buying a Mac. I worked at Apple at the time. And we had a whole full-blown conversation. And I was just like, yo, bro, when I looked at the business card he gave me, because he said he had a business account, it said The Alchemist. And I'm like, Alchemist? So I don't know you. I was like, oh, wow. But we had
Rob, when he asked you how your kids was doing, why did you say fine?
I just kept going with it. I didn't know what to say. Like I didn't know what to say.
Wow.
Like
I did that with. I've done that with.
Did you say like little Jerome and Allison?
Bro, it was really just like, yo, how's the kids in the family? And I'm like, yo, they good. And I was like, yo, how's your kids?
You gave yourself a wife too?
No, that's wild.
Bro, I swear to you,
that nigga thought you was Gorilla Black.
Yo, on my mom's life, that has happened to me with 2 producers in my lifetime. That happened to me at.
He thought you was Mayhem Loren.
You stupid. I happened at Apple with Alchemist, and when I went to the Rockefeller Reasonable Doubt pop up, me and DJ Premier had a whole 40-minute conversation and didn't know each other. And then
get into the album, y'all.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we can actually skip over this intro, right? You guys don't have to say on that?
Yeah.
No.
All right, so we're going to dig right into Streets Raised Me. Streets Raised Me features Chinky and Big Noid, and of course, it's produced by Havoc.
I love this record. only because like I said, it's one of the first albums I had. This shit was spooky, like scary. I think somebody might have died. Like it sounded like funeral music, like some shit you listen to like in a hearse. Like, and it's just like and Noid bodied his verse. Noid always bodies any feature verse that he has with Mobb between Burn or the Queens Get the Money, Long Time No Cash shit. Noid bodied his verse. And I don't know. It's always nice to hear P.
Yeah, for real, truly. Anybody, Rob, how you feeling?
Bro, I like this song. And that's why I was like, when Eli was like, he didn't like, I'm like, nigga said want to be a thug. Now you got a thug look, stick them up, leave medicated, foot the bill. I want to build a foot. I said, wait, what? That is what that bar just threw me for a loop. That I had to bring it all the way back.
And he didn't even like that shit didn't even rhyme. Like, but that's what P used to do. Like He'll do 2 lines and then like the end of like one bar won't rock and then he'll catch it like on it. Like P was nice, man.
Bro, that shit threw
He had his own style.
I sat there and I was like, that is such a good bar. And it's a good New York, like, get it in the mud bar. Because you couldn't say that unless you knew what Medicaid was. Like, you had to be a certain degree of poor to get that reference. And that's what I like.
Hey, man, put some respect on my Medicaid card, bro. You better relax.
So that means you poor.
You know the
yeah, you a certain level of poor, bro. It's all right. We all are.
Yo, you stupid, bro.
I didn't know what Medicaid was at that time. When
I definitely knew what Medicaid was.
But this being the first track as a kid, it just everybody was like trying to figure out who their favorite rapper was, because you gotta remember at 99 we still were like, yo, who's the best rapper out, because Biggie and Pac were dead. And a lot of my friends were saying that P was like the best rapper like out, period. And then I remember like 2 years later, after he dropped H&IC, he got crowned Lyricist of the Year by The Source. So, and then Takeover happened. But before Takeover,
and this album is connected to Takeover as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we'll get into that. But it's really funny to me that, like, I remember this vividly. Like, people were arguing that Prodigy was one of the best rappers, period. Like, that he, like, people were putting him in their top fives and everything like that. And I really always just wonder about, like, that trajectory, like, if Takeover never happened, where P's career would have went. Because, you know, it was going. You know, that damn Jay-Z, man.
Takeover was a gut punch, man.
Yo, we're not talking about Takeover on the Mobb Deep album review. Come on, man.
I mean, you brought that up.
No, he brought it up. I'm talking about, we don't need to go in depth into Takeover, man. R.I.P. Prodigy, man. Next song.
Bro, look at you. Yo, I'm telling you Queens dudes, bro.
Nah, R.I.P. P, man.
But also next song is What's Your Crazy? It features Cormega.
Mega?
Yeah.
Very good song.
Sounds cool. It's a cool track. I used to skip over this song.
I remember this song being better when I was younger. But now that I'm older and I go back to it, I'm cool off of this one.
Yeah.
I'm cool off of this one.
This is one of Cormega's like best verses.
Yeah. No, he definitely
be that as it may. I'm cool.
Yo, Regg's face. Yo.
Yeah, Regg is perturbed.
What I like about this song.
Okay, so this is my thing with Cormega. I know that Cormega is like a prime time MC, but I also think that reason why Cormega is held in such high regard is because we never really we didn't get that much music from him.
Yeah,
I think he only has like one album.
Because he never could get out of the streets.
Yeah.
I get it. No, I'm just saying, like,
one or two albums.
Like imagine if like every time we heard Jay-Z, it was just like on a feature, or like it was like one song. Like we would think that nigga, like we'd be like, yo, he is so slept on. Like his best verse, like we only heard his best. So I kind of
Nas, he kicked him out the firm, so I'm sure that didn't help.
Yo, like Quiet as Kept, that happened a lot. That happened with Noid. That happened with Cormega. That happened with Nature. That happened with
Yeah, because Nature started off hot.
Bro, Nature was bodying shit on the mixtape scene, bro.
Word.
I don't know what happened.
The bar I liked out of this was Hennessy got my mind locked tight in a curl, hold it down like Saddam, can't search my crib. And I was just like, to say that in 1999 sounds crazy.
That's a good one.
There was a lot of like really like real, and what that also shows is I think sometimes we don't give credit to how worldly and how knowledgeable some of our favorite rappers are, and how they drop subtle hints of like them expanding their vernacular and their knowledge outside of what they're used to.
Prodigy introduced me to the word Illuminati. I didn't know what Illuminati
Prodigy was known for that, though. Prodigy was known for that.
That's a
like when it comes to
bar,
the H&IC album.
That was Half said that, right?
Yeah.
Woo!
Like it's a lot of like, and that's why when Eli was like, there's a lot of like gems in this album. There's a lot of little short, witty bars. And I was like, yo, this is really good.
Yeah, there's a lot. They're sprinkled all throughout. Well, I'll save what I was gonna say. I'll save what I was gonna say to that end. But yeah. So next song is Spread Love. Spread Love features no one. It's strictly the Mob. It's produced by Havoc, of course.
Mm-hmm.
This
is one of those fucking spooky Havoc beats that I love. Like that shit sounds crazy. Like
I
Spread Love, Not War. Like
what I want Havoc to do? I want Havoc to score. I want Havoc to score like a spooky movie, like a
horror flick.
I want him to produce. I mean, I want him to do the score of a horror flick.
A fucking Jordan Peele movie.
I would love.
I think that would fit in perfect.
I would love a Jordan Peele movie in Queensbridge and Havoc score the whole thing.
That would be fire.
Hi guys, surprise!
Man, yo, your hair looks gorgeous.
Oh,
really? Thank you.
Yeah, it looks.
Still getting used to it. First Class Breakfast gets the first exclusive.
Nice.
World premiere.
Let me get a lamp. Hold on, I'm dark over here.
You reviewing this album with us, or you just popping up to say what up?
I came through to do the album.
Nice.
Talk about it.
Nice. All right, lit. I'm excited. All right, bet. So
you would appreciate this. I'm never on schedule, but I'm always on time.
No,
talk about it.
Damn, everybody knows me late. It's crazy.
It's cool.
You know, you work for
very
MTA,
impromptu.
bro.
I'm probably not as prepared
MTA.
as you guys are, but I'm a 90s kid, so I know my 90s hip hop, so we'll see.
Well, now that we have a woman here, I feel a little bad for what I'm going to say about the next song.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is a safe space. I'll call you out if I need to.
Nice taste of misogyny.
So, the next song is Let a Hoe Be a Hoe.
Great song.
Which is a great song, man. I mean,
Really
it's a
great song,
title, right? And I fully agree with the title, you know?
Okay, so if this is for the channel, so I'm going to go ahead and plug a book for us. For ladies that love hip-hop and have an issue with the misogyny that comes across in hip-hop, which is kind of just a part of the game, I think there's this feminist author called Roxane Gay, and she wrote a book called Bad Feminist. And in Bad Feminist, the first chapter talks about, like, how do you resolve, or I don't even know if it's the first chapter or if it's like a prologue to the book where she talks about how do you resolve being a woman and loving hip hop, but knowing that there's so many, like, fuck a hoe this, fuck a hoe that, suck some dick, whatever. And when I read that, I felt very seen. So for any of our ladies that feel like, damn, I love hip hop, but there's a lot of shit that talks badly about women, may I suggest Bad Feminist by Roxane Gay. That's all I'm going to say about that. We can move on to Mobb Deep.
I like that. And I like the song. That's actually a thought process that that's something that I've thought about that women must go through all the time that love hip hop. Because, you know,
me too.
It is something that comes up a lot where, you know, in hip hop it's just embedded in a lot of misogyny and everything, like over the years.
It also depends when you were born and when you started listening to hip hop, right? Like I was born in 88. So like I grew up on a lot of 90s hip hop, which that's already embedded in it. If you were born, if you're a Gen Z kid, like you still get that, but there's a different version of hip hop that you get. And if you don't know the history behind everything, it's not to make an excuse for hip hop or for our men, but like it's kind of a part of the game. But that's why we have separate conversations about how Cardi and Meg and everybody else is allowed to talk about their pussies if y'all are allowed to talk about that. So
you know, it's funny that you mentioned that because when you listen to, when you grow up, when you're born in '88 and you grow up listening to hip hop at that time, to the Mob's point, to Let a Hoe Be a Hoe, you're listening to this song, but you know they're talking about a specific type of person, or giving you a visual of a specific type of woman. not all across the board.
Wow.
And I think that's
the worst.
Yeah, but you could argue that nowadays it's okay to be a hoe no matter who you are, because men are.
I'm just saying, like, I'm only painting
Rob,
a picture of the. I'm only painting a picture of the timeline in which this album.
I'm with Rob on that. Like in that time in '99, like it's like, yo, I'm talking about women that be hoes. You not a hoe, like, you know, like.
It's very much that.
No, I'll argue with that. That's okay, because there are a lot of men that women feel are hoes too. Like it could go both ways. Like there's a lot of men.
I mean, if we're talking about if we're talking about the context of the actual song and the topic of the actual song, then it seems fit.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the most catchy bar in here in the song is, yo, she said she had a man, he was locked up in Attica, freaked her off with the video to my camera. After having
on the VCR.
On the VCR to my camera. After shit happened to Tupac, yell rape, showed him the tape. I was just playing my part. That's
Yep. That's, woo, he smoked that.
That is what. That's a crazy bar, and just put you in a time place of where hip hop was at that time.
Yeah.
You didn't say that too after the beef with the mob and Tupac is really interesting too. So I thought that was very, very catchy. Very, very catchy.
Yeah, it was a good bar, yeah.
And in regards to what Mana had said about being an 88 baby, I'm an 87 baby. So we definitely have ears for that. But like even still, if I'm with my mom or my aunt and I'm listening to like a DMX song that's not edited, like it still feels weird. Like it's like I'm uncomfortable. Like,
but you know what?
I don't know. In that verses.
I don't know if you guys touched on this yet, but like I thought it was interesting that this album got more. It charted higher than Infamous did.
Yeah.
And when you look back in time and you think about, like, when you talk about Mobb Deep, like, you mentioned Murda Muzik, but I feel like everybody talks about Infamous first. And I don't know if that's
Lil Kim.
You or if it's because, well, Quiet Storm is on this album. We're not there yet, but this is a really fucking solid album. And at the time, it didn't chart.
I can tell you.
Kim was on top at that time, and she made this shit go.
I can tell you the difference. 1998 was the biggest year in music, period, right? And like hip hop had like finally crossed over, and like TRL was a thing. So if you were a hip hop artist, I felt like the floodgates in Middle America were like open, and Quiet Storm was everywhere. It was on film soundtracks. It was being played at clubs all over the country. Like, and I think that's why this album did better. And typically the commercial album isn't the album that like everybody like hails and praises unless you're 50 Cent.
Wait, so for Let A Hoe
also.
Well, I was just gonna ask, for Let A Hoe Be a Hoe, did Havoc produce this? Did he produce every song on this album too?
Yeah,
like 75%.
But this is one of the ones he produced.
He produced this one,
right? Okay.
Fucking this is also the era where you could have two big singles and the rest of the album is trash and you still go platinum.
Yeah, that happened a lot.
This is that era.
Yeah. It's a different time. Yeah.
Exactly. So they had they had the regular Quiet Storm, then they remixed it with Lil Kim, who was on fire. We're gonna get into that, but that's part of the reason why I went double platinum, because Kim was associated with it.
Yeah.
So I'll say, as a woman that grew up around this era with a lot of like older cousins and uncles, this album was bumped a lot, and I never felt a way about Let A Hoe Be a Hoe. And I don't think I would even have the process to think about it until like I was a lot older with a lot more knowledge. But at the time, I was like, okay, this is just fire.
Yeah.
Like, it's Mobb Deep. At that time, it was anything that they put out with the people that I was around, with my uncles and my cousins. It was like, this is fire.
It's just crazy. Like, Murda Muzik doesn't even feel like their fourth album.
No, it doesn't.
What does it feel like?
It feels like one of their earlier albums. Right?
It feels like number 2 to me.
It's because of our age. That's why.
Murda Muzik.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Hell on Earth didn't have any big singles. It had like street singles. It was fire, but there was no commercial singles
Yeah.
And I think Havoc's brother had died in between Hell on Earth and Murda Muzik. So Prodigy was just doing features for like from 95 to 99. Like they didn't put out no album. It was just Prodigy did the LL joint. Prodigy did it, Run DMC, Nas. It was written. They didn't put out no albums because I think Havoc's brother committed suicide. And they was like fucked up. So they wasn't working at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Humatic historian.
Yeah, I read Prodigy's book.
I hate to pivot.
Let me hold that. Send it my way.
I
Got you.
hate to pivot to Let a Hoe Be a Hoe, but I mean that's the song that we're on.
Yeah. Go for it.
So the last I do like the song. And
that skit is crazy.
The voicemails at the end. Voicemails at the end are kind of wild.
My throat is sore. Pause.
Yeah, like why you had to put it in my throat and then you put it in my butt? I'm like, yo, this is.
But there was a lot of that.
There
was a lot of that in the 90s, man. But I don't know.
Say though that I think that's also an era of music that voicemails are used different or intros are used different. Like in the 90s, the voicemail usage was a lot more about like a sexual intimacy.
Yeah, always.
And then I think when Drake came around, it was more like an emotional intimacy, like I'm crying on your voicemail now.
Mm-hmm.
But like this is the era of like there was no cell phones. You was beeping somebody with your number or like your code.
You got an answer machine.
Right, or you got an answer machine. So this was a lot more like
this was two-way pages.
I like how it's a time capsule of the time, essentially.
Bro, the last
you don't leave that often, or maybe you do, maybe some people do, but like you don't often leave like a sexy voicemail anymore. Like you'll send a sexy text, but you won't do a sexy voicemail. Like
I get snaps.
Right. Okay. Well, that's very millennial. Like that's this era.
I definitely still leave sexy voice notes.
You're gonna
wait. What? Eli, you leaving voicemails out here, bro?
How you get your sexy voice note on?
Wait, yes, I am.
You sound total when you do it.
And I'll text her and I'll tell her, yo, I left you a voicemail.
You sound mad.
Eli, okay.
And when Eli does it, like he puts the phone to his mouth like this.
That's exactly how I be giving it up.
I've watched Eli do this. He be
like, yo,
oh, it's good to know romance is still alive.
Eli was like, yo, I just want you to know I'm thinking about you right now.
Like, yo, what up, baby? What you got going on? Reggie's seen all of that shit.
Only voicemail I get is from my mom. My mom says, hey, this is Mom. Give me a call back. That's it. Like
mine too. And I'm like, bitch, I have caller ID. I know it's you.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking to Mena's point about voicemail messages. I think it's either the voicemail message or the conversation that the rapper has with the girl's boyfriend that he's sleeping with. So it'd be like, yo, who is this? You're done. Like, why you calling me about your girl, bro? You go check your girl. Be like, I don't have nothing to do with that. I miss that. Like, my favorite one is still. My top 5 favorite one is
DMX.
Cam's Purple Haze when you started to the
yes,
niggas like a rude boy, man. What you calling me about, bro? what you calling me done for? But yeah, I miss that. I think those are things that I feel like when you hear it in a newer album, you take a little sense of like, yeah, you did your research.
Kendrick.
Yes.
Kendrick heavy on the skits, man. You could tell he's our age.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on, man. Kendrick, come on, man. I just need you to bring the car back. Just bring the car back.
Body. All right, so next song is Illustrious. I love this. Oh, no, sorry. Wait. Did I skip one?
No,
it's going out.
Right. That's one of my favorites.
I'm going out, my bad.
I'm going out with Lil C's.
Keep your Lil C's. Yeah, how we feel about this one?
It's cool.
We forgot about it, so I think that says everything.
Yeah.
The only bar I liked out of it was Revolver's Cause Automatic's Jam at the wrong time. I was like, wow, that's deep. Because I think about Nas rapping about the gun that jammed. Like they was like, no, we're not gonna have that problem. We're gonna bring a gun that doesn't jam. So I do like that.
Is this around the time that we wanted more for Lil C and Junior Mafia?
This was okay. So this was 99.
So I
2 years after Big died.
I think I remember feeling like I wanted more for them. I wanted them to carry more.
What year was that single? You don't want to play around. You don't want
to play around with me.
That was 98, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll kill you.
That wasn't. Wait, that was Black. That was C's. I thought that was Black Rob.
Nah, that was C's, bro.
That was his first single.
Yeah, Hov wrote that.
You don't want to play around with me. Yeah, so when that came out, I was looking. Whatever year that came out is when I was looking for.
That was 99. It was the same year.
It was the same year.
Yeah. So I was looking. So
you're right. Got C's publishing.
I remember just like wanting more for Junior Mafia and Lil C's that year. I wanted them to.
What year did that Biggie album come out with Dead Wrong and all that? With that Biggie song?
That's
C's was on that.
99.
That was 99 too. So this is a good year for C's, man. It's a good year for C's.
No, it was
fire.
But I guess I just wanted more on the standalone.
Not yet. I did too.
I feel like when it came to Lil C's and Junior Mafia, I was a big fan whenever it was attached to Biggie and Bad Boy. Yeah. And I wanted a lot more from him like alone.
The unfortunate thing that happened with Lil C's career, not to veer, is that Biggie was coaching him and helping him. So Biggie created C's, and I don't think Biggie was done yet. So like the blueprint to guide C's wasn't laid out. With Kim, that blueprint was like set, it was laid. So like any producer that worked with Kim, like Kim understood who Biggie envisioned her to be. Kim understood who she envisioned herself to be. But C's like did it. Like C, like they was just trying to like build C's up to make him a solo artist, and Biggie died too soon. Like Biggie put all that energy into helping Puff become Puff. So I think that's what happened. Like, and I'm not saying like obviously like he signed Kim and like he brought her. I'm not saying like he created Kim, but what I'm just saying is that like it does take a vision to understand like, all right, cool, like this is going to be your persona. This is going to be what you rap about, and this is what I want you to do. This is how I want the collective your Mafia to be. And we know that Biggie wrote a lot of Mafia stuff. So I just think that they didn't know
all of them.
And I think that's why they didn't go further. It was just like the person who, the architect of what they was doing, wasn't around no more.
That's
sad, man.
Yeah. Sounds about right. I mean, I'm sure Caesar's okay. This song is all right. This is the first all right song on the album, in my opinion. But we'll move along. Next song is Illustrious, which
that's my favorite.
Really fucking love. I love this.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
It's a great song. Production is amazing.
Is that a Havoc beat too?
Havoc beat. So yeah, I mean,
yep.
I mean, that's the only good thing I could say about the song. Honestly, is just the beat.
Really?
Everything else.
You don't like that song, Ellie?
No, I'm good. And my name's not Ellie. I feel you.
Eli, sorry.
Eli's a fucking hater.
I'm good.
Who's TV's playing in the background?
Rob, somebody TV is playing?
Probably Quincy. Yeah, it was Quincy.
It could be my fan.
No, it was like somebody was talking. But now I enjoyed this. The one narrative for me is that they kind of like get repetitive for me throughout the album, in my opinion. So that's like the one thing that's like hard for me. That's why I don't ever go back to this album in particularly. Because it's kind of like, all right, cool. Like I get it. Niggas from Queensbridge and people be dying.
But wasn't the 90s about everybody dying though?
It was, but like some people just painted pictures a little bit differently. And I guess for me, since I knew that, like, because this is like I told them earlier, man, this was the first Mobb Deep album that I listened to. So when I was a kid, this shit was amazing. But now me being an adult, I'm listening to it and I'm like, fuck, man, like, all right. Like, number one, I already don't feel like I already know like this isn't their best work. I just know that this is their best commercial work, sales wise. And I'm just like, oh man, like this
Which now as adults, we know that sales don't mean anything really.
Right. And it also one thing that I've learned throughout this is that I wish that a lot of albums were shorter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you feel that way about a 90s album, but how do you feel about albums now? They're like 20.
Oh my God, I hate it. I hate it. That's why, like, when people
you're on mute.
complaining about like the songs, like when Kanye did the 7 song, I know like some of those albums were bad, but I was completely okay with hearing 7 songs of like the best that they had and just being fine with it.
Right, I agree with that. I don't have a long enough attention span.
Really think about it. Like, there's albums that are like 19 songs long, and you might only like 9 of them shits. Like, it's rare that you like all of them. So it's like,
I haven't even finished the Big Sean album, if I'm being honest.
I definitely finished the Big Sean album, but I definitely have about 11 songs that I like off the album, and the other ones I could do without. But yeah.
Wait, so how many songs long is this album?
This album is
19, right?
Oh, that's long for the 90s. That's very long.
Yeah. Bro, this whole album is like damn near an hour and a half.
And the 90s niggas was wilding because they had a Sam Goody deal, they had the Wiz deal, they had a Walmart deal.
Circuit City, Tower Records. It was like, yo, we're going to use all of this.
Is when Wiz was still around.
The Wiz, yeah, I'm like, is the Wiz still around?
Right, yeah. They was like, yo, if you go to Circuit City, you can get the Quiet Storm along with the DVD video. You know, shit like
come on now.
Yeah. FYE, all that.
Got into the MTA. He was blasting this album, bro. This is MTA sanitation worker music.
Yeah, UPS music. Yeah, man. This is not for me.
All right, let's move it to the next song because actually this song is my shit.
All right, next song is Adrenaline.
Classic.
Yeah,
classic.
The fuck you talking about classic, Eli? You said every song on this album sucks. That's what you said.
You did say that,
with
man.
the exception of some, but you ain't let me finish. You ain't let me finish being a hater.
Nah, you finished. You put a period after the end of that, bro.
Nah, you ain't let me finish being a hater. But this one is a classic.
Shit.
The sample is really dope too. Knocking Around by the Zoo in 1971.
Who produced this one again?
By James Taylor and the Flying Machine. Very good sample. I like the way Havoc uses his samples because he doesn't stretch it out like most people, or he shortens it and loops it. He really takes it apart and takes pieces of the sound that he likes, and you really have to dig through the sample to find where it really came from.
Well, this is when producing was production work.
Yeah, you didn't want to copyright.
Like nowadays, so people kind of, revamp a song. This is more like you actually use a sample and you make a beat out of that sample.
Yeah, because now we go on YouTube. You go on YouTube now, man, and you're like, yo, I found this song by this guy named Rick James. It's really good. We should use it. They don't even know where it came from.
Yo,
nah, son, we should do that.
Yo, Taurian, in regards to what T said before, I was on mute. I'm over here talking like, yo, these niggas ain't hearing me? What the fuck? I was on mute. Basically, what you said about how it gets a little bit repetitive is interesting. It just came to mind, like, it's a group album. I'm picturing what a Mobb Deep studio session was like. I don't know how vulnerable, niggas is trying to get in on the pen and pad with 30 niggas around. But like on HNIC, he got personal songs where he's talking about Prodigy, talking about like his health situation, like you can never feel my pain and stuff like that. It's like, so I think some of that like has to do with being in a group, a New York City gangster group.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I didn't want them to be like vulnerable or anything like that, but I think what I just wanted like subject matter wise, or like maybe like this would have been the album that where I envisioned it maybe could have been like what is it? What do I want? What word am I looking for? More like themed oriented, but where I felt
like Cuban Links or something like that.
Yeah, like something like that. Like I kind of wish that's where they went with it next, because I think it actually would have worked out like really well in their favor, my preference. But when I hear this album, all I really like, damn, this is gonna be fucked up. But all I really need is Quiet Storm and The Life Is Mine.
Nah, I need the Realist.
I'm sorry.
I need the Realist. And what's the other Alchemist one? Thug Music and the Realist, for sure. But anyways, Excellent.
I just think that like Mobb Deep also came around a time where New York gangsta music was like, there's some of the illustrators of that. And for them, I think that like, if you're listening to it with an ear from now to back then, you're thinking like there could have been more. I get what you mean by having a theme and being more thematic about it. But like, if you're listening to it with the mind of like, I'm in the 90s and I'm listening to hip hop in the 90s, like they were very much doing what they know, which is like, at that time, hip hop was like, you just talk about what you know. And you talk about like the streets and your experience. And kind of like what Q said, like you don't always go into vulnerability with all these other things. And I feel like if you listen to this album with the ear of knowing where they went after the album, then you know that they grew and you know that they did something different. But this album to me stands the test of time in the sense that it's very much of that era.
And so you're absolutely right about that. But I think another thing is, with being a rapper, from what I noticed is that they kind of get roped into just talking about what they know their audience wants to hear. Especially at this point in Mobb's career where they're 4 albums in. I think at this point they knew their audience pretty well. They know what people that are there listening to them are there to listen to. You know? So I feel like you get to that point where you have to cater to a certain audience. So even if there is growth, even if there is all this shit that they want to talk about, they still have to dial that in.
Yo, Regg, I'm not gonna hold you. You right about that. Like for most artists.
Yeah.
But this nigga Havoc was still living in the projects. like
so that's his reality.
Yeah. No, yeah, he stayed there on purpose. Like when he said that line, no matter how rich I get, I'm staying in the project. He didn't leave till like 2000, bro. So they was literally just chilling with their friends and shit like that. And like Mana said, this is what they was around, huh?
Well, I wonder if that
is dumb. They ignorant. Ignorant.
But I wonder if that's because one, when you back then, I guess I'm just assuming, like most rappers back then, they were like, yo, I'm just a rapper. And I put albums out. Like it's not really like I can still be on my block. Like it's not a big deal.
No. Most rappers are getting the fuck out of their projects. That's why this nigga Havoc is crazy. I got the fuck out of Queensbridge.
But I think
immediately. Before Automatic came out.
I think he did that. I don't know personally why he did that, but I also feel like it added to the art though.
It
like
did.
He still had like some of the grittiest, grimiest beats, and people still wanted to work with him for years because he still had like, he was not just in tune with the culture, he was inside of the culture. Mm-hmm. While a lot of people left the culture and were trying to figure out what the culture was doing.
That's a good point.
Man is right.
I feel like he could have came back to visit, man.
The crazy thing is when you watch it.
So we already know when we get that bag, Taurian's leaving.
Taurian, the funniest part, because I watched the interview with him saying this. The funniest part is that this nigga's like, he's like, yeah, man, I stayed as long as I could, but at some point, you know what I mean? Niggas, you become food and like nigga, well, duh, like
yeah,
what the fuck you mean? Like
what kills me,
that was an epiphany for him.
What kills me is like niggas in Queens and shit. It's like, yeah, I had to get out, so I moved to Westchester. Nigga, that's not far.
New Jersey.
I just want to point that out, like, because I watched, I think it was like Rapture. And they had him in it, and he's just like, yeah, you know what I mean? I got my house in Westchester. And I'm looking, I'm like, nigga, that's Scarsdale. Nigga, you not far. Like, if niggas want to find you, they could. Like, you're not.
He was talking about moving to Jamaica Estates and shit. Like, damn, son.
Yo, it kills me, bro.
He moved down the block, and he was just like, yo, this is the life.
Yeah, like, yo, I live in Forest Hills now. I'm different. Nigga, no, that's not that far.
I just feel like
I got central air conditioning. I'm lit.
I just feel like what you gotta do.
I got a doorman.
You gotta keep your mans around that's like still like in the projects and like just be like, listen, man, you the only one that can come to my house. Tell me everything that's going on in the hood.
And that person to keep in touch.
Oh, that's like Prodigy. When I was working up in Westchester, I worked at Starbucks in Larchmont, New York, next to New Rochelle. And Prodigy had an apartment in the Trump Tower in New Rochelle, and he would just get gas, and I would always see him. And I was like, oh, wow. So, like, he really came up, son. Like, he living in a Trump Tower in New Rochelle. Like, this is money. I'm like, it's not that far. It's really not that far.
Still money, though.
Nah, but I mean, he was Trump Tower. He was good money. Like, I'm just saying, like, for Havoc to be like, yeah, man, like, I finally realized, like, you know, niggas keep trying to set me up because they know I'm a million.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, because everybody got your addy, bro. Like, what's up?
But look at Young Chop. Young Chop niggas. Young Chop shoots at niggas every other week because they be trying to rob him at his house.
Yeah, nigga. I seen you at C-Town on Sunday, man.
Bro, you was at the 7-Eleven the other day at 3:00. You picked up some batteries and a slushie. I saw you.
Bro, I feel bad for Young Chop in Chicago. That nigga be shooting at niggas every other week in front of his house. Cops stay in front of him.
We'll get into the next song. Next song is Where Y'all From. It features 8 Ball. It's produced by Mo Suave. So
this is a good one.
Yeah, different producer for once.
Yeah, I'll fuck with this one.
Is this? I honestly, I always skip over this song. Is this 8 Ball? 8 Ball?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's the only one 8 Ball, bro.
There's only one.
I feel like there's a few 8 Balls that ain't make it.
That's a fact. In every town, every city, there's an 8 Ball.
Are we doing this?
I want to know why we couldn't get like a 8 Ball MJG Mobb Deep mashup. But this song is not for me, regardless. But yeah, like,
yeah,
I like
this one's not for me.
Me either.
The one that Eli likes. Look at him.
Yeah,
of course.
Me too.
Y'all don't
baby.
Y'all
There's something about Reg. There's something about this one that really does it for me. What?
Yeah.
Nah, man.
All right.
Eli just likes to go against the grain. I get that.
No,
vibe.
not at all. It's because I like
vibe.
8 Ball and MJG. I fuck with them.
I like 8 Ball and MJG. That don't mean I gotta like this song.
Yeah.
But I like it.
All right, well.
Of course you do. Fucking who?
You do.
Next song is Quiet Storm.
Yeah, but I surpassed the original for the remix. I always put it.
But let's talk about the original.
Wait, you prefer,
I like the
original over the remix?
No, I prefer the remix.
Oh, okay.
You're right. I used the wrong word. I used surpass when I meant a pass. This song.
I love both. I love them both the same.
I don't love them both the same. I love the remix more.
I do not love them both the same.
But
especially, again, as a woman that grew up with 90s music, any verse, anytime Kim or Foxy or like Rod Vega or Emil or any of these women came through, I was like, oh, I'm at attention. Like something's happening right now.
This is like a career definer. Like her verse on that joint.
Literally to this day, it's so crazy. To this day, when I hear Quiet Storm, like I know that's a Mobb Deep track, but I think Little Kim way.
Yeah, nah, for sure. But the original, like me and T was talking about earlier, like he's talking about Jay-Z in there. So I when I heard this, I loved it when I was younger, and the video was fire. It was like a movie. It was like a Hollywood movie. Like he's running from somebody, like chasing him, shooting at him. He's like sitting behind a cabinet, and there's like machine gun shooting at him, and he's just rapping at the camera. Like it was like that video was fire. But then you find out later, like you know, we the streets that's watching. I think he said something like that. He talked about Jay like 3 or 4 times on there.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Robbie.
Please, like, so Prodigy was mad staticky. So what I realized back then is that, like, you see, like, how now, like, we be like, shit, like, you see some shit on Twitter, you be like, damn, that nigga shaded him. Back in the 90s, like, because you got to remember, all these rappers in their early 20s.
Yeah.
No, but
they straight up kids.
Yeah, like they're kids, right? Like we always forget that because in the 90s, men and women in general just looked older because, like, you know, that was before like times changed.
Slack was hard.
But like
the clothes were baggier, so you just look different and shit like that.
I'm talking about like their demeanor and shit like that. Like not even like.
I mean, well, yeah, because you know, back in the day, you kind of like had to hold that, you know, exterior to be like a You know, especially if you're a gangster rapper, you can't be out here like showing up on like Kanye shit.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I mean, you saying that, but we got Young Thug showing up in dresses, and niggas do not fuck with Young Thug.
Yeah, but this is
everybody fuck with Young Thug now.
Era.
No, I'm talking about no. I'm talking about people who like fucking with Young Thug. Like Young Thug will shoot you.
I mean, I don't know, man, because you can't really say that because Outkast, Andre was pulling off some crazy fits back then, and Busta. Yo, Busta showed up to the MTV Awards with a fucking halter top, bro. Like,
I don't know. The difference is
with a bustier.
Young Thug's an actual killer. Like, you're speaking for yourself.
Okay.
Yo. Wait, what I will say for the original Quiet Storm, though, storytelling wise,
fire.
Like it is a very like close your eyes, see what's happening. Yeah, like it is a very like storytelling rap that you don't get often anymore.
Yo, the other part, because one part we talking about Hov, he said, "We the streets just watching boy move diligent." It was a light one, but the earlier one, because this is '99, I think, was it the Dynasty album? Was it S. Carter? One of those albums. Jay was using the Dun language in one of the songs.
And they go, you talking Mobb Deep style or something. He says something like
he said you're a dick blower trying to speak the Dun language.
Yep.
Yeah, like he was talking about Jay on there, and then Jay came back with the takeover shit. Oh no, my bad. Keep It Thorough, I think, came first. He was talking about Jay on there again, and then Takeover. Like Jay just ended.
Apparently, this was a response to Money, Cash, Hoes, More Money, More Cash, More Hoes. Where Hov says, "Rolling with my Duns," and then that's when he said what he said.
Well, no, it wasn't that. It was that Jay said New York been soft ever since Snoop came through and crushed the buildings. And when he did that, when they did that, Mobb Deep, Nori, and Tragedy Gaddafi, they responded in LA. Or whatever. So
that's a good one.
He was like, "Yo, when shit popped off, Jay-Z didn't say anything, Biggie didn't say anything, Nas didn't say anything, and we was the only ones defending New York. So that's why he was talking shit about Jay.
Yeah, he just got. But then Jay kept like used the Dun language. He used it in multiple songs because damn.
It's on the Dynasty. Is it Blood? Is he a Crip? On that one, he used it.
Oh man. What a shame.
He
used it on a few songs, like you said.
On Friend or Foe.
On what? Friend or Foe?
That's on Friend or Foe, yeah. Is he this? Is he that? Whatever.
No. Dunny, you remember when he says, "I'm sorry, Dunny. I'm gonna hate for me to see. Like, it's gonna hurt me more than it's gonna..." I forgot. I'm not good at remembering. I know.
Right.
But yeah, like Prodigy was probably getting annoyed, like, "Yo, why does this nigga keep doing this shit?"
yeah. Basically, that's the type of time niggas was on. Like when we talked about Go for Cuban Links. I mean, Ghostface did the same thing to Big. Like, you can't be biting people's stuff in the '90s, man. But that was on the tail end of that, and Jay broke through that. Like, Jay was the one that was taking everybody's shit and flipping it in his own way, like, and it made it cool, kind of, because it's like, you know what I'm saying? He was taking big lines and flipping them. He was taking Snoop lines and flipping them.
Like as if he like scratched your name out and put Jigga on top and then rock.
Exactly. Yeah,
I've seen that before.
He made that shit cool.
I'm so annoying.
But I do like. Do you guys agree that like this beat is like one of the greatest hip hop like beats of all time though?
Yes,
absolutely.
It's in my top 20. It's not my top 10.
I feel everything on this beat. I feel like every time I play this song, it's actually going to ring.
Yeah,
like
it's a time capsule. This song is a time capsule.
He said it's gonna actually rain.
Eli, I'll raise you one. I think better than a time capsule is a time machine. Like, no matter where you are when you hear it, like that shit takes you to a moment.
Yeah, like you remember what you was doing at that time. You remember what grade you was in. Like all of that. Like,
you know where you were when you heard it the first time. Like
everything, man. It's great.
Like,
classic.
I just love how Prodigy comes on this. He goes, "Let's do it." No, wait, where is that? He goes, "I'm been through it all, man.
Yeah,
blood, sweat, and tears.
Seen it all, been through it all, blood, sweat, and tears.
Niggas is dead and shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck else can happen, yo? That's like my COVID experience.
I don't.
Oh no, that's definitely going in the promo, man.
That's the opener right there.
Nah, that's definitely going in the promo. That's fire.
I don't want to be that old head, but like this is one of those songs that you just feel like they don't make hip hop like that anymore.
Nah.
Like you don't hear
it's
music
different
like that
now.
This is one of those songs where you're like, they don't make them like they used to. Like legit. That's what it is.
This should make you want to wear a snorkel and some Timbs, bro. Like,
bro, it's sanitation rap. It's
spider
sanitation
jacket,
rap.
all that.
Bro, everybody who listens to these albums are now 40 years old. They've been through at least one marriage, and they have 2 kids in college now.
And they've done a bid.
And now they're finally cool with their baby moms.
That's crazy.
Wow. And their polo,
me and my
elite.
baby's mom, we just reconciled. They always want to say reconciled.
Well, back when I was buying polo, when we was boosting it, B, it was different. Like, all right, you got it, bro. You got it.
Oh, man.
Yo,
some of it is useful.
So, Where Your Heart At is the next song. Where Your Heart At, of course, is produced by Havoc. How we feel about this one?
I like this song, too.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like this song.
All starting to, like, sound the same.
Yeah,
this
you're
shit
right.
is whack.
It's in the middle of the album that I start to like.
Yeah, nah. What's the next one? What's the next
until
song?
You get to Murda Muzik.
I just want to get to the Alchemist songs, man.
We can skip
Thug Music.
We can skip that one. We don't need to talk about
skipping,
right?
Who?
Oh,
no, we don't need that.
Yeah,
we need Thug.
About that. We
need Thug Music and It's Mine.
Are you skipping Raekwon?
Can't Fuck With features Raekwon.
Yes, sir.
How we feeling?
Inshallah.
I gladly take this one. Yeah.
Inshallah, like you said.
What's up?
I think Raekwon was my first crush. If I have to really think about it.
Raekwon?
Yeah, I think he was my first crush.
Yo, growing up, I thought Raekwon was the flyest nigga to...
I thought he was literally the best thing fucking walking, bro.
That's a fact.
Raekwon for real?
Yeah. I don't know if that says a lot about who I was raised around and who I am, but like,
So who you picking?
To hip
You picking
hop.
Method or you picking Ray?
Whoa.
Ray was first, but Method is forever.
Who you picking? You picking Ray or you picking Ghost? Because Ghost was fly, bro. If we keep it in a buck, like Ghost was a fly dude.
Ghost is still fly.
Ghost was WWF fly, man.
That's a great analogy.
Raekwon was wearing all that low life polo shit. Like
he was a low head.
That's what
he
I'm
had
saying.
the waves.
But I like Ghostface style. I like Ghostface style more because he was more about piecing shit together and like, yo, you see these, or y'all smart dumb cats and all that. Yeah, it's my shit, man. I love Ghost.
But you wouldn't dress like Ghost though. You would dress like Raekwon.
I would 100% wear a robe outside. Are you kidding me?
Eli, you are
in the summertime too,
I would wear a robe. A hoodie. I mean, I was.
Is the robe gonna hit if you don't have the big ass eagle chain? Like, is it gonna look the same, or are you just gonna be a motherfucker outside in robe?
How is Eli gonna rock a chain when he's the size of a charm? Like, what are we talking about here?
Well, now
don't matter, man. I'm rocking a robe outside. I'm with that.
Eli, stop lying, man.
When I saw Ghost do that shit, I was just like, yo, that's
Eli,
crazy.
but you don't like expensive shit, so you're lying. You're lying.
That what?
You don't like expensive shit. You know that.
You are a damn liar,
like,
bro.
Yo, on this gold,
liar.
really? You like gold like that? Oh, look at me. I got gold. You wouldn't care. So I don't need shit from you. All right, E.
Ghost the flyest one.
Sure. Continue, Reg. I hate to break
your
concentration. I'm sorry.
No. I'm focused.
I'm sitting here like that.
So that's all y'all got on Can't Fuck With? Y'all just talked about Ray and who y'all would prefer?
Eli would prefer.
I like the song. I said I fuck with the song.
All right, cool.
I like this song too.
All right, bet. So next song is Thug Music. Thug Music features infamous Mobb and Chinky.
This shit reminds me of Hot 97 commercials, man. Like this is like the shit they used to play. This and the Kool G Rap one. They always used to play this when they were like doing their drops in between songs. This is just like a classic hip hop beat.
Yeah, classic.
So does that mean you feel like it's background music?
No, I love it. I love this song. I don't need the whole Infamous Mob rapping on it, but the beat is so good that I can listen to the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Word.
I agree with that.
That's a Havoc beat, right?
No, it's Alchemist.
Alchemist. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Alchemist. Zay, can we have a whole conversation about Alchemist?
Yeah, we could do it again.
We definitely could. That man, matter of fact, we should get to an Alchemist album.
Yeah, what was his first? We should do First Infantry. But anyways,
exactly. That's the one I was gonna say.
That one's fire. But yeah. This is actually my first time hearing Alchemist. I think he had production credits before this, but this is my first. Like, yo, who made that beat? Like, finding out who did that. Like,
Alchemist working
did this one
was huge, and the fact that like Havoc like trusted him to like let him like work on the boards, and mind you, like not saying like Havoc was racist, but like letting a white man do that.
No, especially in the 90s, that's a big deal.
Letting a white man do what he did. The only white man that was allowed in hip hop at that time was Rick Rubin and Leo Cohen. So I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he definitely heard the beat before he saw the producer.
And Alchemist was on this album twice, I think, right?
Yeah, he did the Realist too.
Yeah,
and both of them are classic beats and two of the best songs on the album.
So wait, basically the whole album is Havoc and then two Alchemist beats.
Yeah,
and then one other dude, right?
That says a lot. That's a big vote of confidence for Havoc to be like the only songs not produced by me on the album are both produced by the same guy, and they're both gonna be Alchemist.
Yeah, I mean that's what makes it Infamous Mob, right? Like as far as like who it features. No, wait.
Nah, it's a group. It's a group.
Yeah,
it's
the only
Twin.
Features all three.
Yes, it's Twin and like two other dudes. Infamous Twin, and it's like I forgot their names. But yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so next song is Murda Muzik. Murda Muzik, of course,
classic.
It's produced by Havoc.
I consider that one a classic.
Title tracks always mean the most to me when I see them, because it's like whatever they're trying to get off is supposed to be embedded in this song. It doesn't always go that way, but I think this song is a good example of like really being the fold of the album.
This shit whack.
You think this shit whack?
This shit whack. I'm good off this one, bro. Production was born on this one. I know P was getting his shit off, but nah. I'm cool. This beat is boring. It's exactly what Taurian said. It's like, yo, like, you kind of get fucked up because it's just like, damn, bro, like this shit is fucking repetitive, and at this point, it's like this is a boring point.
I really like this one.
Yeah, I like it too.
I'm straight off.
How's he going?
Straight off this.
Slap the shit out you in the back of your head. Relax, done. Like, what the fuck was that?
Like, wake up, done.
Oh man! All right, we can skip Noids and a little. Shout out to Noid.
Facts.
Shout out to him. We can go. No, wait, my bad. I just went back. What the fuck? My shit.
Yeah, nah. That was before that, but I think next song is The Realest, right?
Yeah, next song is The Realest with Kool G Rap. What the fuck?
Fire.
Classic.
On his dancing. My non-machine is like a time machine. Yo, Kool G Rap spazzed on this shit. Damn, Tony, you just want to yawn?
Everybody spazzed on this shit.
Sorry, I worked. I've been up since 6 a.m.
Oh, I thought you was yawning at the track. My bad.
Who was?
I wasn't.
Nah, yeah, Kool G Rap. I thought he had the best verse on the track, and he was already like, an older rapper at this time. And he's a rapper that inspired a lot of dudes. Big Pun.
Yo, didn't Kool G Rap have like a fire song that dropped around this time?
Yeah, he had that joint that was on the N1 mixtape. What the hell was that called, man?
No, I'm talking about off of his album. Like his album,
It was on
sound.
It was on the Sound Bombing. It was on the Raucous album. I think that's what you're talking about. It was his single off the Raucous album, Sound Bombing.
Probably. All I know is that he had like music around this time, and I really fucked with the single. I was so close to buying the album, but I never did.
Yeah, he bodied this track right here.
Yeah, this was a Source Hip Hop Potable that year.
Yep.
Which was a big deal back then.
I think people just hated on Kool G Rap because he had a lisp.
Yo, he had it was the My Life joint with CNN. My Life. That was the name of the song.
I
think that's Eli, what you talking about.
Oh, you're probably right. Yeah, that sounds accurate. I gotta check that. I gotta check. Yeah, I gotta check that shit out.
My man said, my fifth is an organ shifter, the human orgasm lifter.
Organism.
Organism, my fault. Yeah, organism. That's different. That's elite rapping right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Now Kool G inspired a lot of them. Black Thought. I know Black Thought said Kool G Rap was his favorite rapper. Big Pun said that.
Biggie,
Big.
Hove, Nas says that Kool G Rap was one of his favorite rappers.
Definitely.
A few rappers like credit Kool G Rap as I mean, he's the godfather of mafioso rap. So
yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get into the next song.
Thank God.
Next song is USA. All right, then. Features it's produced by Shamello, Epitome, and Buddha.
Yeah, that's such a New York name.
All right, then. Like, he just picked it up, like, putting this together, like, yo, it's called this, but in parentheses.
Okay. All right, then. I got nothing to say about this song.
This one is big trash.
It's coming up with
Did I have nothing to say on this one?
It's a skip for me.
It's a skip for me.
It's a skip for me, dog.
Yeah. All right. We're going to go ahead and skip it then.
I then.
Skip vibes.
I then.
All right, then.
So the next song is mine, and it features Nas. Who are they sampling?
Front like my doodle don't stink.
Got you.
Rob, who they sampling? Come on.
Scarface.
Off top.
Scarface. Bro, come on, baby.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't.
You should know that off rip, bro. Exactly.
Y'all all gonna just jump. All right, sorry.
Because you should just know that. I mean,
it's gotta be on your jail.
It's from Scarface, and then, obviously the chorus is an interpretation of Brandy and Monica's "The Boy Is Mine."
I was getting to that part. Sorry.
Oh, were you?
I was getting into that part.
As well as the it samples 30 seconds flat from the heart.
Okay. Thank you, Rob.
And this track is actually produced by Prodigy.
Really?
Of course it was.
Wait, what?
No, it's produced by Havoc.
Bro, I'm looking at it. It says produced by Prodigy.
It does say produced by Prodigy. I just looked it up when he said that.
I'm going to look it up.
Wow, that's crazy.
On Tidal says it's produced by Havoc.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
And I believe Tidal.
Google says by Prodigy with the Scarface sample.
They both produced it.
And I'm looking on Genius, and Genius says Prodigy.
Yo, but bro, can we just talk about the music video?
You're a liar, because I'm looking.
The video is fire, bro.
It says produced by Havoc.
No, open the song. Open It's Mine. I'm on Genius now too, and it says produced by Prodigy. Yeah.
What song? Wait, what song is that?
It's mine.
I'm on Tidal though. It says Tidal.
Where do you see produced by Prodigy, Rob? I don't see that.
If you open the lyrics to the song, open It's Mine. It says Havoc on the album, and then you open it, and it says produced by Prodigy. And when you open it, it gives you the Scarface.
I can show you on my screen right now, but
I can see it too.
Show you my screen.
Yo, we gotta hit up Rob Markman, man. I need answers.
Wait, where?
Rob is always ready and willing to talk hip hop.
I know Rob. I know he knows the answer to this question.
I want to share my screen. I forget. Oh yeah, here it is.
I'm gonna believe Tidal over Genius, to be honest.
See?
Produced by Prodigy, Reg. It says it right there.
It says produced by Havoc.
And then go down to It's Mine Lyrics. Produced by Prodigy. Click it.
See?
Click it.
This is a song.
Okay, click the produced by Prodigy. Maybe he chose the sample because then it goes into the sample. Go down. Scarface intro theme.
The record's production is built around the sample of the theme of the title.
So maybe it just means that Prodigy chose the sample.
While the hook of the song is also both the lyrical and instrumental, blah, blah, blah. Was it really produced by Prodigy or Havoc as the info? See, I'm confused.
Nah, this is bullshit. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Nah, it says
maybe he chose the sample and Havoc produced the beat around the sample.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I think that's possible.
Or maybe a Prodigy. This is like Wikipedia, right? Can't you just like submit shit and it gets updated?
Submit, yeah.
No, they have a whole team.
A Prodigy fanboy.
Bro, you can get hired. They have. I guess you call them antiquators or whatever that work for Genius.
Annotator.
Thank you. I couldn't say that word for shit. I guess that's why they didn't hire me. But
yo.
On Tidal,
a bit about the song though.
Sorry, on Tidal it says the producers have it.
Yeah, that's what
I would like to go with the theory that Havoc produced the beat and Prodigy came up with the sample idea.
I think that's an accurate theory.
I think that's the theory I'm gonna run with.
Yeah, but this is one of the few times that I feel like Havoc had a better verse than Prodigy. Havoc verse was fire on this shit.
Yeah, it was.
This and Burn. Those are the two times I feel. Oh no, and the Quiet Storm remix.
Burn is one of the most slept on choruses. I love that chorus. I don't know where Vita is. Hope she's okay. But
I think she works at Kmart.
Stop it! Stop it right now.
Where with a meal?
Stop it right now.
Excuse me, a meal works at Walmart.
My bad.
What you call? Oh, do y'all think Halle Berry really blew Nas a kiss?
No.
Yes, I do.
I don't think Nas has ever been to a Barbra Streisand concert.
Why not? He was DFS with Amy Winehouse. Why not?
Well, that was before her time, but yeah.
Well, that's my point. Like, if he already had an affinity towards an appreciation for white music, why not?
Nas drinks a lot.
He was only friends with.
Yo, Taurian, man, I need you to relax, man. Relax.
He was only friends with Amy Winehouse because of Salam Remy. Like, I think he put them together because he worked with both of them. So he kind of
they got the same birthday. So
yeah.
I say why not? I think that Hollywood is smaller than we give it credit for, and I don't see why Nas couldn't have ended up at a barbershop.
You can easily just buy tickets to Barbra Streisand concert.
Bro, she gave Derek Jeter play. You think she would kiss at Nas? You really doing this? You shitting me?
Are you talking about Barbra Streisand? She gave Derek Jeter play.
Talking about Halle Berry.
Oh, Halle Berry. Oh, I thought we were talking about him going to the barbershop.
What the fuck does one have to do with the other? What is?
No, if she gave.
What he's trying to say. He's trying to say Nas is cute. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
No. Rob just said women exist.
Basically, that's what he's saying.
But what does that have to do with anything? Even if that's what you are saying, like Derek Jeter pulls women. What are you talking about?
This is Nas.
That's
bro.
true too.
Come on,
yeah,
man. Like
Nas, you saying it like Nas was known as like a sex symbol around that time. He was just Nas.
Don't do Nas.
No, that's not true. No, that's not true.
Do not.
Nas and Derek Jeter.
Yeah, girls been giving it up to Nas
girls loving
years
Nas.
now.
Especially in '99. Nah, he was like.
You guys like to hear from a woman, or are you gonna keep talking about how cute you think Nas is?
I think we're bodying this right now. Actually, man, if you want to be honest, like I think
you want to let me in or not?
We're bodying this shit. I think he's gorgeous. So I don't know why we even bodying.
Okay, so I think that in '99, Nas has always been hot. Nas has always been fly. Women have always been going after Nas. However, Nas becoming a sex symbol in mainstream is very different from Derek Jeter being the shortstop of the New York Yankees being
that's a sex
symbol in mainstream. Those are two different timelines, and you could talk to any woman about it. Women that knew hip hop thought Nas was fine, but Derek Jeter had international renown, known like
Mariah Carey wasn't making songs about Nas,
right? Like Nas caught up eventually.
Making songs about Kim.
Jeter was there at a different time.
Yeah, man. What the fuck you talking about, Rob?
I was just saying that Halle ain't blow him no kiss at the bar, and he wasn't at no Barbra Streisand concert. That's all I'm saying.
We could ask Halle. She's been very active on Twitter. Let's ask her.
Yo, that's true.
She's been quarantine active. Celebrities are getting back on Twitter with quarantine, so I think we should ask her.
Halle probably don't even.
I feel like Nas went to a Barbra Streisand concert, but Halle wasn't there. She blew him a kiss somewhere else.
Nah, I think they were both
at the Boomerang premiere.
I think he probably keeping it a stat.
Yeah, that too.
He was at a Barbra Streisand concert. Who knows who he was with? You know what I'm saying? Maybe he was with.
Had the thing on him because they didn't know if it was going to get crazy or not in the concert.
Yeah.
So Halle, she was like, you know who I am, and she blew him a kiss. He was like, I'm gonna rap about you, and the rest is history.
He said, I'm gonna rap about you.
Shut the fuck. All right. So next and final song, actually.
Talk about it.
Quiet Storm remix. Quiet Storm remix, like I said prior, was
the reason why this album went double platinum.
Right. That's not what I said, but it's the reason.
True.
But it is. It's a big part of the reason. I think the Quiet Storm remix came after so much of this album had already leaked. So they needed this fire. They needed like a reason for people to still come and get the album, even though a majority of it had already leaked. So they did this song, and I can't remember what other songs they did. I think they did like 4 or 5 other songs. But this song being like the one, and they linked up with Kim, and Havoc always talks about, I remember this, and a lot of people used to say that, you know, obviously Kim had a lot of help with her raps and shit. But I remember Havoc saying that she wrote this herself, like
in front of him.
Yes, he did.
No, I think he said that on the Mike Tyson podcast recently. Havoc was up there.
Nah, he didn't say that on there.
He didn't say that? I saw it somewhere.
They watched it. But I remember him saying
that they watched it. Word.
She came and she wrote this herself, and they were all there, and he was like, yo, she wrote that verse in like 20 minutes.
And it is one of the most iconic verses in hip hop, male or female.
Yeah.
Like, period, point blank, period.
And she borrowed, like, and she had to speak to MC Light because she used the beginning of Hot Hole. Goddamn hot hole, here we go again. Light as a rock, hard as that was an MC Light verse. So she borrowed that from MC Light. So, like, you know, how MC Light spoke about it, like Kim squared it away and made sure like MC Light was cool with it. Because,
she's classy.
Yeah, because, you know, things like that can be taken the wrong way. But MC Light gave it a blessing and was like, nah, like, you carrying my torch. Like,
yeah.
Yo, Kim so
that was like a big deal too.
Yo. I love Kim, man. Anything I hear about Kim, it just makes me smile, like legit, like from her.
It's just really funny because people have the misconception to think that like Kim is like some diva and like unbearable to work with, and it's funny because like actually like the horror stories that you hear about like female rappers that are hard to work with is Foxy Brown and Nicki Minaj.
I've heard that, yeah.
Everybody says that Little Kim is like a darling and that she's very sweet and that she's very down to earth and very nice and polite. So I just think it's funny that like
I've also
I don't want to get into
really good to the new girls when they reach out to her, like. Yeah. But a lot of people are afraid to reach out to her because they hear all these horror stories that Taurian's talking about, and I think that's interesting. Like, she's not really. But I also think in the 90s, everybody who was a star and a woman, like, they just made them out to be a diva.
Yeah, because they definitely tried to make it seem like this. I heard that, you know, there was rumors that maybe this was about Foxy. Anytime you mention like a woman rapper or a rapper just rapping and she says like a phrase that's towards a woman, it's like, oh, she's talking about Foxy. Like, but that was definitely a thing. Like, oh, this verse, she's taking shots at Foxy. And then Foxy taking shots at her on the CNN shit. So it was like, you know, it is what it is. They still do that today, though.
Well, yeah, in general, I think that there's so many men in the game that anytime a woman comes up, which I really love about the new class, like the new class of women are very much being very vocal about, like, we're not talking about each other, we're here to celebrate each other. But in general, in history, like, there was never room for more than one at a time. Anytime a woman came up, it was like, oh, there can only be one. There can only be one. Like, she must be talking about her. Like,
or one style, at least.
There
there could be more than one, but it can't be more than one. Like, sexual or more than one, like Missy.
No, I disagree. I think a lot of rappers at the same time as Lil Kim were there were other female rappers. There were a lot of women rappers that were talking the same kind of slick talk, but there was only room for one star. Like there was always only.
But then there was Missy too, but she had a different style, but she was a rapper too.
Missy doesn't even count in that respect because Missy was the only one that was producing and writing at the same time. So she was kind of like a cheat code. Like people needed her. Like when it came to rappers, like you were only allowed to be like I think the industry as a woman growing up, it looked like it was only allowed to be one woman star and everybody else had to be like Missy didn't count because she was a power player in so many ways that like she was invaluable because she was also producing songwriting and like you needed that. But if we're talking rappers, like they put everybody at each other's necks. There
wasn't a lot.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot.
There was never.
Because I think
whenever one of them had a single that was hitting, the other one wasn't allowed to have one. Like it was always like, oh, you got to choose like which one you like better, like or whatever.
There was Kim. There was
Left Eye was still out.
Left Eye, Eve.
So it didn't even because Left Eye was in a group. So if you didn't talk about not liking Left Eye because it was about whether or not you like the TLC song.
Mm-hmm.
But she started before she died. She was doing all those features like the Donnell Jones feature, the Ladies Night. Like I think she would have popped at some point, like on a solo.
Who Ladies Night was on a soundtrack, right?
That was an Angie. That was the Martin movie. Nothing to Lose.
Okay.
Nothing to Lose soundtrack.
Damn, I'm old, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know why I know that.
I know that music video too, man.
What I do know about this album is that to this day,
the Brat. We had the Brat. The Brat was out.
The Brat was also the first woman to go platinum as a rapper. But
there you go.
To this day, Quiet Storm rings off in any fucking club, but it's only Quiet Storm remix with Kim on it.
Yeah, if you don't play the Kim verse, it's like awkward because everybody's waiting for it, and then everybody ready to do the.
Yeah. And all the women know the verse. Like any woman that grew up in that era knows every fucking word to that verse and is ready to
But we know it too. Trust me, we know it. The men know it too.
Right, but you gotta have a bunch of rappers to rap to. Like for us, it's a moment. Like for us, it's very like, no, you want to let that fucking Kim verse go off.
Yeah.
I feel like, but low-key, I feel like
All About the Benjamins too.
All About the Benjamins is an album.
Oh my god.
Oof. When the rumble with the beat.
I mean, Kim is the pro in a lot of ways.
I want to see Kim. I want to see Kim get in the verses.
Kim should be in the verses. She should definitely. I'm thinking about it.
Like she had a lot of hooks.
But it can only be against Foxy though. Like who's gonna go?
I don't want to hear that shit.
I don't want to hear that either.
Like who do you want to hear Kim go against? Who do you want to hear Kim go against?
I don't know, but she gonna murder Foxy. That's not even a battle.
but who else would it be?
It got to be like Missy or somebody like that.
That's not fair. That's not fair to Kim or Missy.
I feel like Kim
Missy can hang. Missy would beat Kim in a versus battle. Missy has.
I feel like Kim can hang though.
Too many songs.
It's not the same. That's what I mean about that's what's unfair about hip hop in that respect. How like
I just love to see them.
Nicki.
I would love to see them together.
What about Nicki?
I would love to see a Nicki and Kim and
Kim versus.
I would love that.
I feel a kind of way about it only because I have so much respect for Kim and Nicki has been very vocal about disrespecting Kim.
I feel like she would be rude too. Yeah,
I don't like that.
It's gonna be a reality. I'll tell you this right now. It's gonna be a reality check.
I feel like they would make up and it would legit be like a more heightened version of what Brandy and Monaco. I think they can make up and do it. Like
I would love to see capable of that.
Huh?
I don't know that Nicki is capable of that.
I don't know. I
don't think so either.
I don't know if Kim's capable of forgiving Nicki for it. Like I think Nicki would do it. I just don't think that Kim is capable. Like look how long it took her to speak to Little C's again. And Little C's.
Yeah, I think the other way around. She did a bid for C's. That's different.
They do a bid for C's.
She did a bid involving C's.
Yeah, perjury. Yeah, not C's, but
she just lied like on the oath. Like that didn't stop C's from going to jail.
Right, but she did it for the family. That's a totally different kind of fucking I think that's a different beat.
She was mad. She was
like,
mad that they didn't all say the
that
same
I
thing as
came
her.
for you. That's a different type of beat.
Because what they said happened was opposite of. She lied though. They basically told the truth.
They basically just
but they also didn't get on the same page. I'm sure they could have made a phone call and been like, "Yo, this is what we finna say."
No, exactly. That's why she felt the way.
They didn't have time. They got like arrested.
Okay, I'm not gonna get into that. Whatever. So Mobb Deep, Quiet Storm, great song.
Facts, right?
No, not such a fact, but like that's just like. I'm sorry, we're not about to say that like, oh, she didn't do it for him, but they couldn't make a phone call and make sure that they could communicate and get on the same page. I can't get into that right now.
When there's a shooting outside, the cops is not interrogating you. No,
let's wrap up the show before we do that. I'll talk to you about it. Let's wrap up the show before we do that, because that's a whole different. I don't want to take away from what we're doing, which is Quiet Storm, classic song.
Yes, it is.
This is a classic song. I'm glad. In a way, you know, I'm glad that the album got bootlegged as much as it did, because if it didn't, we wouldn't have got this song. Straight up. They had
the video for this was fire too. They shot a new video and everything.
She looked great. It's all new verses on this shit.
Yeah. And you remember the days when we had brand new verses on remixes, man. What a time.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
Nothing.
It still throws me off when I put the original on, because the remix is embedded in my fucking head.
Exactly. And it sucks that this generation is not experiencing that.
Yeah. This generation doesn't know the first version.
It sucks. Like, they're getting posse cuts, which is great, but it's different. Like a remix to a song, like this is a hit, and boom, now we got a whole new hit with something similar to what we've already had. Like, bro, this generation is missing out, man. And it sucks that this.
Because think about it, with streaming, imagine like if like you see how like we got all like the different versions of WAP, right? Like, imagine like if fucking like Metro Boomin or Mike Will or somebody like that, like or DJ Mustard just put their touch on WAP, and then that gives your song more legs because that song still gets the same amount of like sales and shit. It seems like
that's get 2 for 1.
Huh?
You used to get 2 for 1. Like, you would literally have 2 songs, like completely different versions of the same song. Not just verses, but like a whole new beat, a whole new like
everything. And like prime example, like even Special Delivery. Like Special Delivery is a classic beat, and then you have Special Delivery, the remix that has a little tweak to it. Like there's little small details here and there, but it still sounds similar to the original song. And dog, like I don't know why these record labels are not making that move, or these artists are not even thinking about doing that stuff, because that's the type of shit that needs to happen.
I think Diddy was coked up when he did that Special Delivery remix. He made millions off of that, bro.
No,
like
he invented the remix, like he said.
Exactly. He invented it and made a whole album.
And then he did I Need a Girl 1 and 2. Like
and he's just like, yo, like, yeah, what's up?
I invented it, nigga.
With that leather fucking top hat or whatever.
Yo, that's crazy. Cause think about all the remixes.
He had a leather fedora on. Word.
Even the Jodeci Mary joints, like if he didn't remix those, some of them songs probably wouldn't have went crazy like they did.
Exactly, and that's
One More Chance.
Woo. Yeah, man. Like Flavor in Your Ear remix. Like, come on, bro.
We have reached the end of this album, ladies and gentlemen, and how do we feel? I know going into this album, I know how Eli felt. I feel like you kind of wavered on the way you feel as we went into this album. Like you feel a little different about it, but we'll get into that.
Do I?
Yeah. I mean, you started off
every song
trash.
No.
Every song.
I told y'all didn't let me finish hating.
All right, so who wants to kick it off? How are we rating this album?
I'll kick it off. I give it 3 waffles out of 5. This album is nostalgic for me, but it's like I only need like 3 to 4 songs off this album.
Exactly.
Okay.
I agree. 3 sounds fair. Like you said, it's a lot of songs. There's a lot of songs that I don't need, but there's
record, timeless Mobb Deep, like career-defining songs on this joint, like that make the mob sound between Quiet Storm Remix, It's Mine, The Realest, and Thug Music. Those are like essential Mobb Deep tracks. So, and I love Mobb Deep. So, 3 out of 5.
Rob, how about you?
3 for me, dog.
3?
What?
Yeah, it's a 3. I think I can't be mad at the length of the album just because back then this is how long those albums were for that particular reason. I mean, when you're standing on the corner selling, nickels and dimes, you need a long album to get through the night. So I understand.
It's crazy, man.
I like the album, but a 3 is pretty solid for me. I'm content with that.
Okay. And Minna, how you feeling?
3 out of 5. I agree. I think that I don't fault them for the length, but it's because of the not having enough solid joints in the length that I give it a 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if it was a shorter album and it had all the tracks that I feel passionate about, it would be a 4. But it's only because of the length that I'm like, all right, well, I'll give it a 3 because I have to skip a lot for me to get to the joints that I love. But there are songs in there that I identify with, like a certain era of hip hop, a certain era of Mobb Deep, a certain era of them being at their top, that there's enough joints on the album that make me feel like it's still an album I revisit, but it's not one I sit through the whole thing for.
Okay, that's fair. And I agree. I'll give it a 3 as well. I think the songs on here though that you fuck with, and like Taurian said, like 4, would you say like 3 or 4 that you need that you would keep? Like those songs, and I would assume is like Quiet Storm, Mine, Quiet Storm Remix, and what's the other one? I forget. For me, it's Illustrious. Illustrious, and I think there's one other that I can't think about right now. But I hold them in high regard because they did try to, like, granted they were on Loud Records, but like they tried to like reach a new audience, and it was smart about, like, they could have just typically just moved the album up when the album leaked. But no, they actually went in and they added to it. Like they tried to add to it to make the appeal of it better. I fuck with maybe 5 songs, like I said, but yeah, I'll give it a 3 off the nostalgic value and off the songs that I really like because they help carry it far.
Eli didn't go.
So, huh?
Eli didn't go.
Eli already. Well,
is it a 0 out of 0?
My rating for this album is gonna be a 2.5. The reason why is because I'm only taking away 3 songs from this album if it's involved in my day-to-day. And if I want to narrow down that day-to-day, and if I know I'm gonna be skipping on something, it's probably gonna be The Realest, even though I love that song. But on a day-to-day, Quiet Storm Remix and It's Mine, I need those records. I need those. Why? Because those are a moment in my time, in my life, when I was listening to that music at the time. Everything, bro. Like, that's a time capsule. So those are records that I need. Everything else on that album, I've never gone into that mode where, hey, I need to listen to this Mobb Deep album. Never. But
I'm so passionate about hating it.
But when it comes to Hell on Earth, there are moments where I need to hear that album. And there's songs on that album that are on that album that are part of my day-to-day. With this album, just give me It's Mine and Quiet Storm and leave me alone.
Jesus Christ.
Heard you.
Who's passionate about that?
Well, majority will, sir. And we will give it a 3. I'm not trying to average this shit out with you. It's going to be majority rule. So that's what we're gonna leave. So that's where we're gonna leave it at. And
I'm good on this shit.
I'm comfortable with that. How you feeling, T?
Yeah, that sounds right, man. R.I.P. Prodigy, Havoc. All due.
Absolutely, R.I.P.
Prodigy.
R.I.P. Prodigy, Havoc. We're happy you got out the project.
Yes.
I'd love to see Havoc in a versus, man.
Absolutely. Tell Havoc to go in the hard drive and give us at least a secret verse we don't
They don't do producer verses no more, man.
If they bring it back, they gotta bring Havoc. Imagine, would it be? What is it like? Kind of like unorthodox to do Havoc versus Alchemist.
Let me close this out first.
Alchemist said that he wouldn't do it.
Okay.
Havoc and Alchemist said they wouldn't do it. Yeah.
And Alchemist even went on Twitter. He was just like,
"Shut up! Shut your mouth."
He's
Sorry, I started that. My bad.
I'm First Class Reg.
I'm Taurian B.
And we are out of here. Peace.